Hey guys, and welcome to my stimulus package update and stimulus check update. Wow, I haven't said those words in so long. I want you guys to know that I missed you more than you missed me, and I'm happy I'm back here for you with another video just to give you my perspective on everything that's been going on.
Democrats and Republicans are willing to risk higher inflation to punish Russia. And the article says that there is bipartisan consensus on Capitol Hill that punishing Russia for its war on Ukraine would be worth risking more inflation. You heard that right, and you can see it right there. Top Republicans and Democrats this week called on the Biden administration to ban Russia oil imports. And we heard from the White House they had no strategic plan to do so. Biden and the White House said, no, we're not going to do it. Lawmakers are now calling upon them to do so, which have been carved out of the economic sanctions in order to protect Europe and the U.S.'s consumers from higher gas prices. Even Senator Joe Manchin, who has done more than any lawmaker to force his own party to reckon with the current levels of inflation, said higher gas prices would be an inconvenience for American consumers, acceptable collateral damage for hurting Russia as much as possible. And he said, I would gladly pay 10 cents more a gallon. Manchin said this yesterday at a press conference where he and Senator Lisa Murkowski announced a bill to force the administration to ban Russian oil. The war has already sent oil prices soaring to the highest levels in a decade, with gas prices following. The national average cost for a gallon of gas rose 11 cents in just 1 week, according to the American Automobile Association. Manchin and many others in Congress, especially Republicans, have for the past several months decried inflation as a tax on everyone in America, one that especially burdens people with low incomes, such as retirees receiving Social Security benefits and those on fixed incomes. Huffington Post asked Manchin if people would accept higher gas prices as the cost of supporting Ukraine after they've been told so many times that rising prices represents an unfair tax. And he said, it is a tax. This, though, is war. The most recent consumer price index snapshot showed inflation had risen at 7.5% in January compared to a year ago, the fastest rate of inflation since 1982. Motor fuel accounts for 2.8% of the index. Economists debate exactly what's driving inflation, but there's no doubt that pandemic-related supply problems collided with strong consumer demand to put upward pressure on prices last year. Republicans have mostly blamed the American Rescue Plan, saying that the extra unemployment benefits and $1,400 direct payments that Democrats approved in March of 2021 gave consumers too much spending power. Manchin has said that he does not regret voting for the bill, but he also agreed that Republicans that more spending would be inflationary. Now, I did share with you an article where they said that it was very minuscule how much the entire American Rescue Plan added to inflation. They're saying it is all of the stimulus plus the supply chain issues and the demand and supply issues that we've had with the pandemic that have all added to this. However, he is saying that he doesn't buy it. And Republicans are saying, listen, no, we do not need to add to the problem, so we need to stop the stimulus package and stimulus spending. Now, the Federal Reserve will try to quell inflation this year by raising interest rates, boosting the cost of credit so that way people and businesses spend less money. However, curbing inflation without hurting job growth is a tricky balancing act, and in the past, rate hikes have led to recessions, and also the war in Ukraine now makes the Fed's job even more difficult. Now, it's not clear how much of a Russian oil ban would affect the prices. However, since markets started shunning Russian oil weeks ago out of fear that it would be sanctioned later, meaning gas prices could be reflecting the impact on that ban even though it hasn't even happened yet. So in anticipation, the market is already reflecting things that haven't happened. And the U.S. also gets about 10% of its oil imports from Russia. President Joe Biden announced this week that the U.S. would tap its strategic petroleum reserves to boost the supply. Republicans have said that the U.S. could offset the loss of Russian imports by boosting domestic energy production as well. But the White House has resisted the bipartisan callouts to cut off Russian oil supply. We are looking at other options that we could take right now to cut U.S. consumptions of Russian energy, but in the context of maintaining a steady global supply of energy, the administration officials said in an email, and we heard them say no strategic plans of doing so. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell told lawmakers this week that the war's effects on the economy is uncertain and that it's unclear how long the oil price spike will last. Now, the concern, though, is that there's already a lot of upward inflation pressure, and additional inflation pressure does probably raise, at a margin, the risk that inflation expectations will start to react in a way that is negative for controlling inflation. So letting us know that this is not going to be helping the situation, what's taking place. So as a result of all of this going on, how about more stimulus checks? If we're saying we're willing to increase inflation due to everything that's going on in Ukraine and we want to support them and show we don't support Russia, how about providing additional stimulus checks to help out people as we experience this inflationary time? Well, we're hearing that is being proposed in one state, and other states are also talking about getting on board, and we'll see if Joe Manchin and members of Congress are supporting this, if they'll do the same for checks. Some Americans may be eligible for a $1,300 boost to help with energy costs. See if your state is giving out cash. And yes, this is a direct result of everything that's happening right now with the war. Some residents could see a $1,300 check in the future if state lawmakers can propose new energy rebate bills. An energy rebate, just like tax rebates, advances from the government that you don't have to pay taxes on. The Alaska House of Representatives, so in Alaska, they are expected to propose a one-time $1,300 energy rebate to all residents as oil prices skyrocket. So this is Alaska taking the lead. We'll see if others follow. The operating budget is set to be unveiled by the House Finance Committee on Thursday. According to Representative Bryce Edgman, the $900 million in funding for the rebate will come from the state's general funds, and the fund is expected to get a major boost from oil prices going over $100 a barrel. And as we mentioned, it's at $111 now. See if your state is giving out cash. And yes, this is a direct result of everything that's happening right now with the war. Some residents could see a $1,300 check in the future if state lawmakers can propose new energy rebate bills. An energy rebate, just like tax rebates, advances from the government that you don't have to pay taxes on. The Alaska House of Representatives, so in Alaska, they are expected to propose a one-time $1,300 energy rebate to all residents as oil prices skyrocket. So this is Alaska taking the lead. We'll see if others follow. The operating budget is set to be unveiled by the House Finance Committee on Thursday. According to Representative Bryce Edgman, the $900 million in funding for the rebate will come from the state's general funds, and the fund is expected to get a major boost from oil prices going over $100 a barrel. And as we mentioned, it's at $111 now. Part of the reason for the proposed payment is due to the economic costs of the pandemic. Edgman said that the cost for fuel could double for rural Alaskans before the end of 2022, which is another justification for the payments. And then Governor Sarah Palin successfully proposed a $1,200 energy rebate to help residents with rising fuel costs back in 2008. So you guys, right now, Alaska is proposing this. We'll see if others are going to be getting on board, as we are getting what we're hearing, an inflation tax across the board. And if they pass this law that they're suggesting, it could go up significantly more. We will see.
Alright guys, this is all I have for you in this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really missed you. Hopefully I'll see you here again very, very soon. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on everything we talked about here in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you all. Please hit the like button on the video, share this video with your friends and family, and subscribe if you haven't already, and click that notifications bell to be notified that whenever I publish new videos for you. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.